forward in a good way for all generations. Together, let's listen deeply, speak truthfully, respect differences, build understanding, honor each other's stories. We create community when we create space for every voice to be heard. Thank you for your participation and your care. Miigwech. At this time, I'd like to call on doing our welcoming remarks from our Chief and Council. Okay. Which, this one?
No, the other one.
This one? Is it? Yes? Okay. Is this going to reach? Will it? Yeah, one's good.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? I'd like to welcome all of you, band members, to this important meeting today. We're here today to get some feedback, some ideas from you because you're important to us. We'd like to hear what you have to say, recommendations of how we can help you do better. We'd like to build very important relationships with you, be more inclusive. My name is Cindy McKay. Wabaguni Kwadishinikas, Mishkodebje Kidodem, Mineguzi being Anishinabek Danukitok. And that means all of you here in the urban center. Welcome again, Miigwech.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Angela McKay. I'm one of the counselors here for Minaguzibi, Nuku Miss Mishkakia Kwe and Dijnikas. I'd like to thank Linda for the prayer that was shared with us. It's always good to start in a good way. So miigwech, Linda, for your prayer. But I'd like to thank all of you for being here today. It's important to have these meetings with everybody openly. Invite everybody to come together in a good way. I'd also like to thank our staff that's here today that traveled in to be here and join us today. So I'm very appreciative of our staff. I would like to thank each and every one of you for being here and coming out today. This meeting is about working together in a good way. We like hearing from our members and the ideas and fostering the understanding of everybody's concerns. I strongly believe change happens when we listen to each other in a positive way. I encourage each and every one of you to share openly today. Miigwech for your time and thank you for attending the meeting.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for coming out this evening. Like my coworker said, it's good to hear your opinions, your voices, your ideas, your concerns on what you guys want to say here tonight, so we could all listen and possibly take these ideas and concerns forward. I'd like to thank all the staff that drove in too. All the leadership sitting here in front of you this evening. Don't be scared to voice your concerns and ideas here tonight. Thank you.
Hello.
Bonjour. Bonjour, Nishnabek. Mstoa sene nene dijdeta. Madagozi bidenjo. Chimi gwe chuma bija kek mongum. Che dejemek kanagego. Maganan chise zek mash kanagane. Madagozi bi. I'd just like to thank all of you for coming out today and coming to join us in this, having a good discussion and concerns and recommendations that you will bring forward here today to the chief and council and to the staff, and we'll take everything in and see what we can, the outcome we can provide to you as members. So Jimmy, good for coming, and look forward to having a good discussion with you. And I'd like to thank the staff and everyone here and that came out from back home. Miigwech.
Testing 1, 2. Good evening, everybody. Councillor Kevin McKay, Salim Makwa, Stone Bear. I'd like to say thank you, Linda, for the opening prayer. We also have a light smudge going on to my right here, Hilliard and Clayton on this side here. And just want to welcome you all. Let's all have a good visit here this evening. And it's good to see a lot of familiar faces out there in the crowd. So just want to say let's have a good evening, everybody. Miigwech.
Ujona Shinabeg, Nibin Makwa, Ndishnakas Makwan Totem, Makwate, Jago, Ndishnakas. I have two names in our language. First one is Summer Bear, and the other one is Bear Heart, and that was recognized in recent years, and I have to start identifying that way as well. Good evening. My name is Derek Niepenak on my birth certificate. I'm the chief of the Minagozabina Shinabeg, the Pine Creek First Nation. Grateful to be here. Grateful that all of you have decided to take your evening, part of your evening, and come here and be part of this conversation. I want to acknowledge Linda for her beautiful prayer to get us started. And I want to thank our helpers with the medicines over there. And anytime anybody needs medicine, you just get up and go talk to those beautiful hearts over there that are lighting the smudges for us. I want to thank the staff who traveled in the 400 kilometers from our community. The weather's not been the greatest back home. So we thank you for making your way here to be part of this conversation. We also have some guests that are part of our conversation and part of our community as we move forward and we look towards healing and rebuilding as a community. I want to acknowledge Dean Heald, who's come in from BC. He's a behavior consultant specializing in mental health and early childhood trauma. He's sitting back there. If anybody wants to say hi to him, don't hesitate to go say hi. He's a very friendly person. He's been doing some work with our school, and he's here as follow-up from some work that was started last year. So lots to talk about. Really, this initiative that we're doing is about community building. You know, we as your servants, chief and council, we need to hear from our membership to set our mandate, to set our agenda. We have 3.5 years. The election didn't happen that long ago. And we have a strong mandate to move forward on some very ambitious projects, but also to help build well-being in our community. In order to build community, we need to invite people to the fire. So you come here this evening, you come to the fire, and some of us don't even know each other. Some of us don't even know who our cousins are in this room. You know, isn't that where a conversation really has to start? I think in terms of who's related to who in here. You know, that's something that we don't spend enough time doing. And the reason why we need to do that is because the society that came up around us, this colonial society, these cities and these towns and this culture that came up around us was very effective at splitting us apart. It was very effective at taking our children away and moving them into different homes, different cities, even different countries. And we have a responsibility to try to rebuild community, because that's what I believe we once had. The Minagozabina Shinabeg were once a beautiful community of families that agreed to live together. different conditions arose over time, and some of us ended up outside of the community. Some of us were disenfranchised, lost our Indian status, lost access to treaty, and some of us are coming back to the fire now. That's really the big picture of what we're trying to do here, is to try to bring people back to the fire and try to rebuild community in a very positive and a healthy way. So in that regard, when you come to a meeting, I ask that we talk about how do we progress in a good and positive way? How do we rebuild broken relationships and strengthen them in a good way? Like, I know we're going to talk about programs and services here this evening, and we have all of our service staff here that are at the office every day trying to do their best. Families. The real question is, what can you do? Proud to work with people who I think are focused on the same goal. Together, pushing the same goal forward, I think we can accomplish some great and beautiful things. And I think that's what, hopefully, the message that you hear from us tonight is going to reflect. We want to sit and we want to hear criticism. We want to hear positive criticism so that we can be better at what we do. And we want to live up to what we. That's what we're about. That's why we're here. And we saw a little bit of that last night in the community, but we also saw solutions. We saw issues, but we also heard from the community members saying, this is a solution to this challenge. We want you to try to work on this. And we take that to heart. And we will. This is what this is about. And this is just the first round of community engagement discussions that we're going to have, because we're going to grow from here. We're going to try and become more efficient and more effective at listening and implementing the plans of our community, because that's what this is all about. This is what we're here for. So once again, Kachimigwech, for coming out of your homes, joining us here in Treaty 1 territory. You know, this is a place where so many of our members live. I think we have close to 2,000 members in Winnipeg and the surrounding area. We have more members living in Winnipeg than we do on the reserve at home. But yet almost 3 times as many members came out to vote at home than did here in the city. And I got to say, I really wish that our members here in the city came out to vote, you know, because it's so important that if you want to be part of the growing of our community, you have to participate in whatever levels you can. And that even means coming out to vote when there's an election. So those are my opening comments. And once again, thank you for coming out. There's lots of help here in the room for anybody that wants, like I say, mental health assistance here. There's our medicines, there's food and water. And let's have a positive, good conversation. I'd like to speak more on the language, just so you all know. I wish I could speak almost exclusively in our language. I wouldn't speak English if I didn't have to. But you know, my mom went to residential school, and when she came home, she didn't pass the language on the way we'd hope that our parents and grandparents would. You know, a lot of times some of our parents and grandparents had troubles in the residential schools speaking the language. They were reprimanded for speaking the language, and my mom was one of those people. So when I came into the world, she said, my boy's gonna know how to speak English good. You know, so that I feel that contributed to my deprivation. I have no more excuses not to speak the language, so I'm trying to speak it more. But I feel no shame in saying that I'm panginita nishnabemwin. A little bit. I speak the language a little bit. And we should try, if we can, to speak the language a little bit if we can. So, miigwech.
At this time, I'd like to call on Director of Operations, Paulette, to do an overview of purpose.
Good. Okay, good evening, everyone. And for Meneguzzi. I report directly to Chief and Council, and I work with I provide oversight to our department heads on all our programs. Tonight's engagement session is about listening to you, our members, and you helps guide the direction of our community. The goal tonight is not to make decisions, but to hear what matters. Everything shared here will be gathered in summer. So from last night's session, we had a really good amount of feedback. And then after tonight's session, I will compile all of that feedback and provide a summary for all of you to read. And then I'll work with our team and we'll start planning on how we're going to incorporate all of those changes and suggestions that you make. We also want tonight to be welcoming and inclusive. We are area for 18 and up at the back. So if you can register with Nancy Chokish, just 18 and up. And then for the elders 60 and up, you can also see Nancy at the back to register. I'd also like to take a quick moment to explain how our structure works at Meneguzzi. Each department, like health, housing, and education, has its own department head who handles the day-to-day operations. And you're going to hear from all of them this evening. My role as Director of Operations is to provide overall oversight and make sure everything stays aligned with Chief and Council's direction, our policies, and our procedures. Our finance team is a big part of that. They support every department with budgeting and payroll. They keep us organized and accountable. So while each manager has their own role in their own department, every one of us is a key player to ensuring that we are providing the best service we can to you, our members. So I hope tonight we get a lot of feedback and good direction, and enjoy the rest of the evening.
Are we missing a mic here? No, we're good? Right on. I was going over my speech while I was sitting there, so it caught me a little off guard. But welcome, everybody. I want to thank you all for joining us today, whether you're in person or joining online. I think it's always good for us to come together and share some updates on the work that's happening across our nation. For those who may not know me, my name is Justin Richard, and I help lead our work in information technology and the facilities and property management. My partner in IT is Grant. He's always behind the camera. He's sitting right over here. Wave to the crowd, Grant. I couldn't do it without you, buddy. Our role in IT supports the band and the administration. We support every department, keeping our technology running smoothly, protecting our networks, and making sure our staff have the tools that they need to stay connected and effective. It's the behind-the-scenes work that keeps communication flowing and operations strong across our nation. On the facilities and property side, that work falls under the Minigazebe, Anishinaabe, and Economic Development Corporation. Through this corporation, we take care of the nation's assets, the buildings, properties, and infrastructure that serve our members every day, including our newest properties at 364 Hargrave, 114 Gary, and 1721 Main Street here in Winnipeg. Our team focuses on maintaining what we have, planning for the future, and ensuring every improvement adds long-term value in our assets and for the community. Together, both of these efforts in technology and economic development support the same goal, to strengthen the Minigazebe Anishinaabe and their independence and sustainability. I'm very proud of the progress we've made and grateful for the team that stands behind this work. Every project, every upgrade, and every system improvement, it's all part of the building capacity for the nation and creating opportunities for our people. Miigwech to Chief and Council for their leadership, to the staff who keep things going every day, and to all of you out here for your continued support and trust in us to represent you. It's an honor to serve my community and to be part of the team working toward a stronger and more connected Minigazebe Anishinaabe. Miigwech.
Thank you. Now I'd like to call on Human Resources.
Good afternoon, everyone. Just a little bit about me. My name is Cynthia Ferlin McKay. I am a civil engineering technologist by trade. I've worked with the city of Winnipeg for 30 years. I'm recently retired from the city for 6 years ago, I guess. Moved back home, and I was fortunate enough that I was able to have this fantastic job as human resources manager. This job previously was always our director of operations under her role. So it was kind of switched over, and I was fortunate to get it. So as a human resources manager for Minigazebe, my role, of course, is to support our employees, the people who carry out the programs and services that serve you all as members every day. Human resources, of course, is about people, ensuring our staff are supported, informed, and working in a healthy and respectful environment. I assist managers in recruitment and hiring, help guide employee relations, and support ongoing development and training in our teams. Over the past year, we focused on strengthening communications within our departments, supporting leadership and staff through workshops and training, and ensuring policies are applied fairly and consistently. We've also continued to build our hiring committee process, ensuring fair and transparent selections where decisions are made based on skills and suitability for the position. Looking forward, our goals include developing employee incentives for years of service, expanding training opportunities, and continuing to foster a positive workplace where everyone feels valued and respected. I'm proud to be a part of a team that works hard for our employees because when our staff feel supported, they're better able to serve our community and our members. Miigwech.
Thank you very much. And health.
I think I needed lower.
Okay. I'll try. How about like this? This is the way.
Yeah,
That's me. Thank you.
yeah, I think so. Can you hear me? Hello, my name is Chantal Lavallee Barassa. I am the health director for Menegazebe Anishinaabe Health Center. I am a band member and a nurse by trade. I have 25 years of work experience in the health field. I started at Aboriginal Health and Wellness Center of Winnipeg as a community health worker, doing community development projects and work alongside the traditional healers. I'm proud to say that I still carry teachings from the late Don Cardinal, Dave Kershane Jr., and Don Daniels. I then moved to medical clerk working for Indigenous doctors like Dr. Barry LaValle, Dr. Paula Flattery, and Dr. Judith Bartlett. But it was the Indigenous nurses there that I worked with that encouraged me to go get a degree in nursing. During my school days, I worked part-time for home care and for mental health at the Access Centers here in Winnipeg. Our recent achievements at the health center have been the implementation of a database with the help and support of First Nation Health and Social Secretariat of Manitoba. Our computerized medical record captures the demographic data in real time and gives our staff the ability to chart in their encounters with their clients in a format that is consistent with the health trends occurring across Manitoba, Canada, and the world. We were able to create a phlebotomy lab at the health center on our reserve. Anyone can come to have their blood work or other biological specimens taken for diagnostic analysis regardless of where they live. Our local residents were at a geographical disadvantage when accessing phlebotomy services. Now they do not have to travel an hour to town to have fasting blood work done because they can get it done right in at our center. Additional permanent federal funding was obtained for our mental wellness department to employ 2 mental health proctors and a scheduling clerk to work alongside our mental health workers who come to our reserve from West Region Treaty 2 and 4 Health Services. A male and a female proctor will be hired to further training will be occurring to provide support to our members living on reserve with mental health illnesses such as schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, and so on. My argument with FNIB to obtain the funding for these important positions was that there are these types of services are already offered to people through the provincial health regions like WRHA, which stands for Winnipeg Regional Health Authority, and within our own area, Prairie Mountain Health Authority. However, due to jurisdictional issues, proctors working for the regions like Prairie Mountain Health Authority would not come to our reserve to provide these health supports to our members living with a mental illness. I cited the calls to action in health from the Truth and Reconciliation Commission to challenge the discrimination that I felt was happening to our members just because of where they lived. The challenges going forward I'd like to tackle are the confusion around non-insured health benefits and medical transportation. In Canada, our healthcare dollars are transferred to the provinces based on population. Our doctor visits, hospitalization, addiction treatments are all paid for by our purple health cards. They stem from the key principles of the Canada Health Act, which is to be comprehensive, universal, portable, and accessible. All other services such as prescription drugs, dental care, mental health are not covered by the province. So provinces are responsible for some health services for Indigenous people who do not reside on reserves and or are non-status or Métis. As a result of the post-Confederation treaties, we have the medicine chest clause. But the federal government only accepts fiscal responsibility for people that they determine are Indians. The imposed fiscal and legal system results in a lack of belonging or a confused sense of belonging that has wider impacts on our health as Indigenous peoples. In the context of health, our off-reserve members are left to navigate a complex legal and fiscal system that has been imposed upon you. In the region of non-insured health benefits, which is the medicine chest clause, more often than not, you are told you do not qualify for support to access your health care from the federal government once you leave your reserve. My next step or issue to tackle will be to find a way to put a stop to the legalized racism that continues to oppress all of you. I look forward to your recommendations to help me do that.
That's awesome. Now I'd like to call on Jordan's principal.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Lori Sanderson, and I look after the Jordan's Principle program. Jordan's Principle is a child-first initiative to ensure First Nations children get the services that they need. So a little bit about myself is that I've worked for Pine Creek Jordan's Principle since 2021. Before that, I worked as I was a supervisor, and I worked at West Region Child and Family Services. And I worked there for over 10 years. And about 2 years before I came back to Pine Creek, I really wanted to come home and to work at home and to work for my community. So since 2021, I looked after the On Reserve program. Just recently, just this year, I started looking after both on and off. Right now, we currently have 7 staff. We have a cultural team of 4, and Marianne Simpson looks after our program, and we have Teresa McKay, Dylan McKay, and Jade Catchway. And then we have 2 case managers. We have Vanna Lita and Charlene Niepanak. They're both in the back. Can you give a wave? So those are our case managers, and I'm the service coordinator. So some of our achievements is we are still able to offer our cultural program. We are able to, even though there's been many changes, we are still able to advocate and try and support our families. And one of the things is that we've helped many families over the past few years, and that we're very proud of. So recently we've been thinking about ways on how we can offer programming culturally to our off-reserve members that live further away from Pine Creek, from Inagazibi. So one of the things we've been thinking about is offering PAL to our youth here in the city. So we just ask for you to watch our Facebook page for more information. Some of the challenges that we have is that our funding has been drastically cut this year. And ISC, Indigenous Services Canada, has made many changes and still continue to make changes as to how requests are made and approved. Our main office is in community, And we do have one office here in Winnipeg. However, everything comes through ours and then we redirect it. One of our upcoming goals is to continue to advocate for all of our families. So we have Vanna and Charlene in the back. For families that are not currently registered with us and want to register with us, they have some information there in the back and they can help you. So thank you all.
Thank you. I'd like to call on Abinu Jiak Nigan.
Bonjour. You can hear me? Ogijadakwa Dishnikas, my Ngundu Dim Shugobanesi do Dim Mama. My English name is Lori Thompson, and I'm the lead helper for Abanojek Nigan, and I report directly to Creator. But I also report directly to all of our membership. Abanojek Nigan started in it's a legal corporation, and it's only 3 years old, so we're kind of the youngest baby in the community helping. And we have a team of 14 members who are all situated on reserve. I go back and forth, and we have 2 of our awesome members over here from Spiritual Wellness. And how we came together was through the child welfare reform, First Nation Child and Family Services. And so with Bill C-92, which came into place in 2020, it's been 5 years now. And in 2022, the Canadian Human Rights Tribunal ordered Canada to issue prevention dollars to First Nations. So we have capacity building dollars, which are accessible for us at $550,000 for a year. And that's to build our capacity to assume or take back, reclaim, however you want to put it, that jurisdiction that we never gave up in the first place, or the responsibility of our children. And then with the prevention dollars, they ordered that Canada provide 2,500 per capita, and it's only available for on reserve. But we all know that the issue of child wellness and safety and prevention and trying to meet the standard of living is not only an on-reserve issue, it's an off-reserve issue. So I find myself a lot of days trying to figure out how we can help also with our off-reserve population. As you heard Chief Nepanak state that there's another reserve sitting in Winnipeg with our people in it. So there's a lot of challenges. However, because of Jordan's principle and because CFS is in place, we've been able to come in and fill that ancestral gap of bringing back our wraparound. And this is not anything new. It's our old Anishinaabeg way of living. We wrap around everything we can. And Abanojek Nigan means children first. So we wrap what we can around our children, and with resources and helping families and helping community. And the main focus is healing, connection, or reconnection, because we've been disconnected all over the place because of the impact of colonization. And how we help is from a caring, loving, kind, non-judgmental place. And so there's lots of love that's needed when we're having a hard time. We know when we're not doing things in a good way. So we need that compassion from somebody else to help us move forward. Parents need support because of the impacts of colonization, residential school, that parenting energy still needs to be reclaimed back. So we also provide a lot of advocacy. We've opened the doors with CFS and ask them, what's going on with our children? We want to talk about this. We want to talk about this as a community. So we're also, through Bill C-92, Abenujiak Nigan is comprised of a board of directors of Kukums back home. So everything that we're doing is the old way. It's not a new way. And we're trying to, we want to make sure that we find out where all our children are, the ones that never came home, the ones that are in the system right now. And this is a lot of work. And with a team of 14, it's not enough. We're going to need much more hands to take care of what it is we need to take care of to ensure that there's more wellness and safety for our children and our families. And so in providing that, we're trying to build relationships with the systems that are out there and we're doing a lot of collaboration with the programs that are existing, because the colonial system built us in silos and separated us. So now we're all coming together in the community saying, how can we help our children? We have wraparound meetings with Chief and Council, with Abenujiak Nigan, with CFS, and once we obtain that jurisdiction, our law is going to be applicable across Canada for our children. So we're going to be servicing all of our band members, and we're going to need a lot of support for that. And I'm looking forward to when we can say yes to all of our band members instead of no, because you're here geographically, right? And it's not an easy thing to do. So I'm looking forward to the movement forward and us reconnecting as community members and staying connected now. And hopefully that never happens again where we're disconnected. Chimigwech.
Thank you. I would like to call on the Learning Hub.
I need, ooh, I need this straightened. Okay, I think that'll be good. Okay, I need bonjour everyone. Wabano kizes dijnakas mokwado dem minaguzi bi dunji. Hello everyone. My name is Taz McKay, and I'm the Learning Hub coordinator for Pine Creek First Nation. I work alongside Christy McKish, who is our Learning Hub coordinator assistant in Pine Creek First Nation. We also have two security guards, one who is here with us today, Wayne Mackay, and we also have another security guard as well, who works for us there in Pine Creek. And we also have a transportation driver who also works for us as well. He transports students to and from the Learning Hub so that they can attend their courses there that they're taking, or if there's any sort of courses out of town to and from Pine Creek, within a hour's drive or so, is about what the transportation driver does. So I have some notes here that I will read this evening, and then. But first and foremost, I just want to acknowledge. Yeah. Is it okay if I hold it?
You're going to have to put these two together now.
Okay. So I would just like to acknowledge the safe and respectful space here for everyone that was written for today, and our shared expectations that we're all sharing here today, and as well as the in spirit of respect, learning, and community to move forward in a good way for all generations. And then our goals here to together listen deeply, speak truthfully, respect differences, build understanding, and honor each other's stories. I really think this is a great set of principles here today to for us to follow. I think we need to follow these more often in our conversations that we have at conferences, at meetings, and just overall in our society. I think these kinds of things are very important, and I think these are very good, as I said, principles to follow. I also want to acknowledge the leaders that we all have here today to my right, and also to my left, and out in the crowd here today, and everyone who chose to come and take part. Um, so, as mentioned, I'm Learning Hub coordinator, and I work alongside Christy McKish in Pine Creek. She is the one who takes care of all of the in-person work in Pine Creek First Nation. I live here in Winnipeg, so this is where I work out of, and I work out of the urban office here in Winnipeg that we have at 1721 Main Street. So that's where my in-person office is. And I do the partnering work for us at Kanama Gagamik. And as I mentioned, Christy does the in-person work at the Learning Hub in Pine Creek. So, more so hands-on, interacting with the students there. She takes care of any of the work needed that's needed to be done in person there in Pine Creek, and she does a phenomenal job of that. So she is not here with us this evening. However, I just wanted to acknowledge Christy for all of her hard work and all of her dedication that she offers to the Learning Hub. Miigwech for the prayer. Welcome members to this important planning meeting. I already introduced myself. A few highlights and what we have been working on. Kanama Gagamik, meaning the Learning Hub or Training Center. Miniguzibi Anishinaabe Learning Hub opened its doors to provide community-based training. The funding is through the MasterCard Foundation. So that is where we got our funding from. This year, we got $600,000 for operations and programming. The MasterCard Foundation, the main offices, I believe, are in Toronto, Ontario. And we also work with a team that works out of the University of Manitoba, and they work with all of the learning hubs that the MasterCard Foundation also funds throughout Manitoba. Since opening, we have held over 10 community-based programs, graduated close to 100 members, and are making final plans for the following programs: fiscal year 2025, 2026, 2027. One of the key one of the programs we are working on right now is the pre-employment electrical program. The program will be 6 months long, and it will be a hybrid program, which will be in person and online. We will be hiring an educational assistant and an instructor very soon. Those posters will be going out on the Facebook page very soon. Our education partner is with Red River College, RRC Polytech, and funding partners are, of course, the MasterCard Foundation, post-secondary, Minneguzibi Anishinaabe Post-Secondary Student Services, First People's Development Inc., Workforce Manitoba, and other prospective funders, which I am currently working with right now. The students will have a level 1 with 900 apprenticeship hours completed after the completion of the program and are eligible to continue their apprenticeship if they choose to. We have 21 applicants as of right now who have submitted their applications. However, 15 will be chosen based on funding. The chief and council will be making the final selections before the end of November. Our job at the Learning Hub is to introduce, prepare, and inspire students to further their education in trades, university, or other training, college, any sort of post-secondary programming, adult ed programming, which I will get to in a minute, to further their education and further their own opportunities that they can create for themselves. Manitoba Indigenous Teacher Education Program. This is a partnership with Frontier School Division, which will be based out of the Learning Hub. The program is to train more teachers and will primarily be in person and online. More updates and details to follow. We will be potentially selecting up to 5 students for this program. This is a provincial or a province-wide partnership. So I believe it's 25 students that will be selected for the entire program. However, if there is more room for Miniguzibi and Anishinaabe students, then more will be selected. Number 3, Educational Partnership Program, EPP. So a proposal was submitted to the Assembly of Manitoba Chiefs for Indigenous Services Canada funding to offer truth and reconciliation workshops of 20 participants and a total of 2 groups. Community engagement sessions on education. What programs should we offer in the future? Certificate in Indigenous HR management and accounting programs. Our training partner is Legacy Bose, and funding partners are ISK via AMC. The training will primarily be for staff. Paulette Lavalley, our Director of Operations, will be identifying the staff who could benefit from this training. Adult education, there are 21 registered students as of right now, working away at furthering their education and obtaining their mature student high school diploma. We had 3 graduates last year and are looking forward to more this year. You know, it's these kinds of things that we're really proud about. And as far as programming, these kinds of numbers in our community are fantastic. You know, these are the kind of numbers that our funders and our resources are very proud of too. We always meet with our partners, we always update them, and when we tell them these kind of numbers, they are, you know, they're very proud, and they always encourage us to keep going. Community engagement on education and strategic planning. Session 2 will be on November 27th and 28th at the school, which was renamed officially as of last night, and we will be having this there on November 27th and 28th. As mentioned, your feedback is valuable and much needed. And your feedback on what kind of programming and training we should be offered is very valuable. There will be prizes and food. Everyone is welcome to attend. Last time we had lots of youth come out there and take part, and we're really thankful for that. We got to see all of the programs or all of the wishes and dreams that they have that could potentially be brought home to Pine Creek. Boarding school applications through Hodgson, Smith Law, or Francine Morasti. She will be coming to Kinama on Wednesday, October 22nd, to assist with board school applications if anyone needs help. And finally, we are still in talks, or we're still partnering with the University of Manitoba for a potential University One program, or to bring these types of courses home for our members. We always talk about how education got us into this mess, and education will get us out. So these are the types of opportunities that we are bringing home. We are advocating for on a daily basis with our main funders, and we are always letting them know how important these programs are and why we're doing so. The online questions that we've received over time now. Why aren't programs online? Well, I just said 7 programs that are offered online. So we are offering these programs online to everyone. And with our trades program, we had 21 applicants. One of them needs the online format. So every other person that applied will be taking the program in person. So these are just the kind of things that we tell our funders all the time. And we are also advocating for more space for our Learning Hub in Pine Creek, i.e. more capital funding. So we need to expand, because when this program hits and starts in February, the Learning Hub is going to be filled to capacity or over capacity every single day for 6 months. So these are the kind of things that I wanted to share tonight, and I encourage everyone to ask me questions if you have tonight. Thank you.
I'd like to call on post-secondary. Employment and training? Employment and training.
It's okay, it should be good. I'll just set it here.
We'll get a little box.
Hi, everybody. My name is Felicia Sutherland. I'm the Employment and Training Coordinator. There is actually 2 of us that run the Employment and Training Department. There's myself and Marty McKay, the Admin Assistant. Our goal in the Employment and Training Department is to prepare band members for employment by providing support for short-term training and/or education. Funding support may be provided for short-term work experience, career exploration, job startup, employer wage subsidy, training and/or education programs that are less than 1 year. I will also leave some information with Nancy. If you have any questions, I will be here. Thank you.
Daycare? Daycare? Yeah.
Good evening. Can you hear me? My name is Shauna McKish Chartrand, and I'm the daycare director at the Gidabino Jimin Center. I've been employed at the center for approximately 21 years, and I truly enjoy it. I love seeing and greeting the children, the staff, and parents every morning. We have 7 staff and 1 skills link student employed at the center. All staff have their first aid and food handlers, and they also have their criminal and child abuse checks on file. The daycare center has been in operation since 1997. In March 2023, we finally got a new daycare center, and it's absolutely beautiful. We are open Monday to Friday, 8:15 till 4:30. We accept infants and preschoolers in our center. Infants are from 3 months to 18 months, and they transition to the preschool side. We receive our funding from 2 organizations here in the city, and they are First People Development and ELCC, which is Early Learning Childcare. They're stuck together. Hmm? Where are these two from? We are currently working on getting our daycare center licensed. Miigwech for taking the time to come out and listen to our updates for our programs. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you. Minigos DB and Anishinaabe School.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Florence Thompson. I'm the principal at Managazibi School, and currently I have 51 people under me. I have 17 teachers, 1 part-time native language teacher, 1 vice principal, 2 Penn students, 1 cook, 1 full and 1 part-time guidance counselor, 1 librarian, 4 janitors, 2 maintenance staff, 5 bus drivers, and 2 night watchmen, and 2 certified subs, and 3 non-certified subs. And in total, we have from nursery to grade 12, 251 students in our school. And also, we work with Frontier School Division. We signed a contract many years ago, and the contract will be coming up in 2028. So with Frontier, we have programs that we always have to abide by. So this one program is called Cascade. That's our school plan. There's 3 focus areas, and it's academics, indigenous way of life, and wellness. And we have a school committee made up of 5 members from our community, and they meet once a month to discuss matters pertaining to our students. And I'm going to talk about our early years. Nursery to grade 4, we have 96 students. Their program is I program for nursery and kindergarten. That's to assess where our nursery and kindergarten are at. And then grades 1 to 3, our ELA program is confident learners, and benchmarking from nursery to grade 4. These 2 programs strengthen their literacy and numeracy skills and development. And of course, we always have high needs with one-to-one support for our students. Then in the middle years, grade 5 to 8, we have 69 students that are using a wide variety of literacy and numeracy approaches to support their learning. And of course, a high needs one-to-one support as well in that area. And then in high school, we have grades 9 to 12. We have 86 students with a potential graduate of 25 students this year. that our highest year was 28 students back in 2008. These students are enrolled in a variety of courses that are offered. These courses reflect both community and provincial model. And also this year we're offering Ojibwe classes from grades 9 to 12. And of course, high needs in that area as well. They receive one-to-one support. And then throughout the grades, we have developed a land-based learning program for all students. We have an outdoor learning space that hosts 2 prospector tents and a platform, 2 teepees, a wooden stacker, and garden beds. And we continue to work with Frontier to move the grocer and the chicken coop forward. And we are going to incorporate indigenous ways of being and doing through our land-based program. Like what Marie Sinclair had said, where do I come from is one question. Where am I going? Why am I here? And who am I? I believe we have to look at these questions with our students because they need to know who they are as Anishinaabe students. And also, my staff feels that it's very important to educate our students past, present, and future with their cultural beliefs and traditions. And also, last year we created an elders room in our school, first time. Elders come and visit us regularly, and we have students involved in many land-based activities, including culture camp, medicine picking, gardening, fishing, snowshoeing, high tanning, and drumming, and so much more. And we provide a free full breakfast and lunch meal program for all our students. And 95% of our students access the program. And then I'm happy to share with you that last month, September, we had 85% attendance in our school. And I'd like to thank the parents and teachers who are supporting every student in our school. Thank you.
I don't know if you saw her whisper to me, but she said, "When are you going to pay me?" So I told her when I get my honorarium. Okay, income assistance.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me in the back? My name is Sherry Chartrand. I am the Income Assistance Administrator on the First Nation. I'm going into my 17th year in this position. I have 3 staff. Holly Young, she's my assistant. She helps me with the clients. We have Charlene Flatfoot. She's the case manager for our pre-employment support program. And then we have Audrey Brast, who assists her with the clients. Income assistance is an on-reserve program. The funding is strictly for on-reserve. Same with pre-employment supports, it's strictly for on-reserve. If you move home, and you come and see me, I'm gonna tell you, well, where do you live? Where's your residence? You have to have residency on the First Nation. I was kind of surprised I was asked to come here, but it made sense what they told me. Like we all work as a team. We all work together. Like if they need someone to work, they'll come and see me. They'll come see Charlene. We'll find a client to work for 2-3 days as needed, just to give them extra income. My clients range monthly from $220 to $240 a month. There's just myself and Holly. We handle everything for all our clients. Challenges for our clients, like there's a lot of addiction on the First Nation, inflation, cost of food, like even to get to town, like it's an hour away and our clients have to pay $100 just for a ride to go and get food, to go and get household supplies. Like, because we have no food banks. We have no food banks near us. They used to allow them to go to Dauphin, but ever since COVID, they've been cut off. They can't even go there. They used to have JP, but their funding was drastically cut. Abenujiak helps where they can. I think that's it, just to give you what our program is.
Thanks.
Thank you. Next is MA Services Navigator. Oh.
Hello, my name is Nancy Chokin. I am the Services Navigator for our nation. The roles within my position include providing assistance and direction to membership inquiries. I also currently handle our treasury account, as well as I manage the incoming applications for the agricultural settlements. And be good. Thank you. I also just like to add that I have forms to fill out for any members here who don't want to speak loud. Thank you.
That's good. Housing. Just to let you know that the longer you talk, the closer I'm going to get to you.
Hello, my name is Jessica Chartrand. I began my position as housing manager last month. I work closely with counselors Don Chartrand, Kevin McKay, Bert Richard, and Harley Chartrand, who hold the housing portfolio. I also work alongside our housing team, Larry Niepenak Jr., Sterling Niepenak, Joni Chartrand, Priscilla McKay, Ricky Klein, and Ivan McKay. We are currently organizing to better serve our community and housing needs. We have begun unit inspections, which will occur annually, with the goal of addressing the maintenance needs of our nearly 300 units. This will also assist in preventative maintenance. MA Housing is working to implement a maintenance line for after hours and emergencies in order to provide faster response and services. MA Housing is also working towards establishing a housing board of 9 members, which will include 1 elder and 1 youth. This committee will participate in the selection of tenants when we have available units to offer. We are currently working on renovating several vacant units and hope to have these units tenanted in the next few months. MA Housing will also have RTMs by Modular Building Solutions delivered in November of 2025. These units consist of 3 2-bedrooms and 1 4-bedroom. We have also applied for funding with CMHC for 10 tiny homes with mezzo homes, which may consist of 1 to 2 bedrooms. I look forward to hearing your feedback and ideas. Thank you.
Thank you. Public Works.
Hello, everyone. My name is Chad Niepenak. I recently became the Public Works Manager in June 2025. Before becoming manager, I was the supervisor for 14 months. Here's a quick overview of our department. The Public Works Department has 14 full-time employees and 5 part-time. We got 3 water truck operators, Thomas Niepenak, Wayne Richard, and TJ Menard. 3 septic truck operators, Bruce McKay, Chantel Gambler, and Cody Mustel. 1 garbage truck operator, Clint Chartrand. 3 operators at our water treatment plant, Glenn Sr., Glenn Jr., and Cody Thompson. 2 operators at our waste transfer station, Bert McKay, Dylan LaValle, and Freeman Gambler and myself managing the day-to-day tasks. For our fleet, we have 4 water trucks, 4 septic trucks, 2 garbage trucks. For our heavy equipment, we got 2 skid steers, 1 mini excavator, and a tractor. We use the tractor and skid steer to cut our ditches and fire guards, and for snow removal in the winter. Our other skid steer and mini excavator stays at the waste transfer station to load and move garbage. A few of our achievements in the past month have been getting a new septic truck and 7 of our staff getting first aid training. Some of our most recent challenges have been with our septic trucks needing repairs. When we take them to the shop, they could be there for days and sometimes weeks. Our septic program relies on 2 trucks going full-time to keep up with the weekly pump-out lists. So when a truck is down, we fall behind. Our goals are to continue to provide clean drinking water and to keep our trucks up to date with regular maintenance so that we can continue to provide our essential services on time. Thank you all for coming out. Have a good evening.
Thank you. First Nations safety officers.
Hello. Like, hello, my name is Candice Mustel. I'm a First Nation safety officer for Minagoo-Zibi. There is currently a total of 5 FNSOs: Jamie Sutherland, Lawrence Chartrand, Randy Neepnak, Desmond Neepnak. We rotate shifts weekly. We work days, evenings, nights, and weekends. FNSO role may include addressing high priority, low risk to harm concerns, such as enforcing the Intoxicated Persons Detention Act, sections of the Highway Traffic Act, the Off-Road Vehicles Act, the Public Health Act, the Trespass Act, Mental Health Act, Child and Family Services Act, enforce ban bylaws. Some challenges that the safety officers face as first responders are long wait times for RCMP to respond to emergency situation. Wait times are often an hour or more for police to arrive on scene. The FNSO program is underfunded, understaffed. This funding shortage results in officers working without adequate backup, often working alone. What we would like to see is more funding to hire more safety officers, acquire new patrol vehicles, equipment, and provide more training for FNSOs. Safety officers help deter criminal activity by maintaining a visible presence in the community. Working with local RCMP safety officers reduce calls for service by addressing neighborhood concerns, helping band members feel safe in their community. Thanks.
Thank you. Indian Registry.
Hey guys. Yeah, yeah. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ricky Napiu, and I am the Indian Registry Administrator for Minagoo-Zibi and Anishinaabe. Today we have 5,684 current members registered for Minagoo-Zibi and Anishinaabe, with more being added daily. Recently, I have taken some training with Ottawa head office and have been authorized to authorize documents. No more signing original copies of birth certificates, marriage licenses, and name change documents. Right now, there's a challenge with sending mail to Ottawa for SCIS enhanced cards. So I do have some CIS in the back. If you need a card, I can mail it back to you next week. That is all. Thanks.
Thank you. Forestry.
Bonjour, Anishinaabe. My name is Jeremy McKay,
and I work with Keewatin Neepanak and Alanis McKay at the Minigozebe Anishinaabe Natural Resources Department, and we are guided by Councillor Angela as the portfolio holder for forestry. Councillor Don Chartrand is the portfolio holder for natural resources, and of course Chief Neepanak as the leader of Minigozebe and the representative of our community in Crown Indigenous consultation matters. So to give you an update from our department, I'm going to ask Alanis McKay to share some ideas with you. Miigwech.
Hi, everyone. My name is Alanis McKay. I'm just going to jump right in. Minigozebe Anishinaabe continues to demonstrate strong leadership and commitment to the protection of our lands, waters, and treaty rights. Our nation's connection to the land is foundational. It defines who we are, sustains our people, and guides our responsibilities as caretakers for future generations. One of the key initiatives advancing this responsibility is the hydrology study currently underway in the Duck Mountains. The hydrology plan will collect water flow and water quality data from 4 watersheds, ranging in size from 5 to 10 square kilometers, 2 that remain undisturbed by logging, and 2 that have undergone logging. A progress report will be issued after the first year of monitoring, followed by a final report upon completion of the second year. Each report will detail the study's methodology, data analysis, and key findings, with the final report providing an assessment of the impacts of logging on watershed hydrology and water quality. For many years, Minigozebe Anishinaabe has raised serious concerns that ongoing logging operations have continued without an approved forest management plan, impacting wildlife and the ability of our members to exercise their treaty rights. After years of dialogue and limited government responses, Minigozebe Anishinaabe sought judicial review in 2022. Not to create conflict, but to promote accountability and uphold the spirit and intent of the treaty relationship. Through respectful negotiations, this process led to a 2022 agreement between Minigozebe Anishinaabe, the Government of Manitoba, and Louisiana Pacific. The agreement included commitments to revenue sharing, impact assessment studies, and meaningful consultation before any new forestry authorizations. In 2024, further progress was made when Minigozebe Anishinaabe, together with Sapatoyak Cree Nation and Wesquisipik First Nation, signed a landmark agreement with the Government of Manitoba. This historic step ensured that decisions about forest management will now reflect joint decision-making, shared stewardship, and the protection of treaty rights. Continuing this important work, Chief Neepanak sent a letter to Minister Bushy, the Minister of Natural Resources and Indigenous Futures, on August 15th of 2025. On behalf of Minigozebe Anishinaabe, regarding the decline in moose populations in the Duck and Porcupine Mountain areas, Minigozebe holds constitutionally protected treaty rights to hunt for food within its territory, and moose hunting is an integral part of our culture and way of life. In his letter, Chief Neepanak shared that it is expected of Manitoba to adjust the operating plans of Louisiana Pacific to protect the remaining moose populations in the Duck Mountains. The details of Manitoba's precautionary approach to forest management must be determined in consultation and collaboration with Minigozebe in the context of the Interim Measures Agreement. Minister Bushy responded to Chief Neepanak, acknowledging and respecting Minigozebe Anishinaabe's constitutionally protected Aboriginal and treaty rights. The minister shared that some adjustments or additions may be required. Minister Bushy further indicated that Manitoba is prepared to prioritize moose-related measures, including working collaboratively with First Nations and an independent ecologist to identify and develop best management practice guidelines for moose, consistent with the protection of treaty rights. Manitoba also expressed its commitment to designing future moose collaring studies, developing habitat models using collaring data, and identifying a joint management process for moose through a new co-developed approach to moose and habitat management under a joint stewardship board. In keeping with the nation's deep respect for the land and its wildlife, Minigozebe Anishinaabe held a moose ceremony in the Duck Mountains on October 1st of 2025. The gathering included a sweat lodge ceremony and a community feast. Members of Minigozebe Anishinaabe were welcome to attend and honor the moose. Through the hydrology study, impact assessments, and new agreements, Minigozebe Anishinaabe continues to build a path toward true reconciliation, one grounded in respect for the land, protection of the environment, and recognition of inherent rights and responsibilities. Our nation remains steadfast in our role as stewards of the Duck Mountains and all that it sustains, ensuring that our lands and waters remain healthy for generations to come. Thank you.
I'd like to call on Executive Assistant to Chief and Counsel.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Bonjour, Anin. My name is Kyle Lafreniere. I am the Executive Assistant to to Minigazebe Anishinaabe Chief and Counsel. I began this role in February 2024, so just over a year and a half. Before working in this role, I worked in various capacities with different levels of government, having experience in administration, finance, community development, and field operations. As executive assistant, my role focuses on supporting chief and counsel in their day-to-day responsibilities, handling communication between leadership and third parties, working on various and important projects. I help coordinate meetings, prepare agendas, preparing meeting minutes, and I draft up band council resolutions. I work primarily behind the scenes, ensuring operations run smoothly. If you ever called the band office, there's a good chance we've spoken. I truly enjoy working for this organization. The staff, the leadership, and the genuine teamwork culture we have makes Minigazebe Anishinaabe one of the best places I've ever worked. Together, our efforts are accomplishing many great things for the nation. I am very proud to serve my nation in this role. Kichimigwach.
Thank you. Next is the Minigazebe Anishinaabe Economic Development Corp.
Brenda, talk about how much staff you have to. Why? Because I said it.
Watch what thing? Oh. Hi, good evening, everybody. My name is Brenda Ketchway, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer of our Minigazebe Anishinaabe Economic Development Corporation. So on the community, we look after 5 local businesses. One of our newest corporation that we've started is the Minigazebe Construction. And we have a young man who's our general manager. His name is Dustin Page. He has 5 staff that working under him with our heavy equipment. This week, he's taking a core certification course so that we can become core certified for our company so that we can I guess do some bidding on some larger projects that might be coming to our community. We also have another company that's the Pine Creek Telecom. Right now, we're just offering services on our community, which is internet, home phone, and cable TV. We have Alan Fiddler, who's our general manager for that company. We're hoping that as soon as we become more confident in our services, that we'll be able to expand into Cowan and Winnipegosis and maybe even potentially Dauphin. Some of our other businesses is the VLT program that's been there for quite a while. We've been operating that under Vernon Nipanak. He's got 5 staff that are working there as cashiers and security. We're continuously trying to add new product. We've got the lotto machine now so that they can offer Lotto Max 649 and stuff like that and scratch tickets. Our gas bar, which has been operating for 9 years now, has about 10 staff. Vernon Nipanak also manages that with 2 assistant managers that are there on the daily operations. And then we've also, I guess in this last summer, we moved and operated a Wiesnen Cafe at the Gaming Center location, which is on the corner of by McKay's Point Road and Highway 20, just off of Camperville there. We have, our main focus there, our product, I guess, is Heffy's Chicken. So next time you come down to the community, try out the chicken. It's superb. Um, we've completed a business plan to build a new grocery store in the community. So the business plan's completed and I'm currently working on trying to find some funding and for the soft cost of the store, which is the architect, and the project management, which we're hoping to do through the winter and hopefully begin construction next summer if we can get all of that all laid out. Just in touch some on the properties that we have in the Winnipeg. So our office and my role, I guess, is just to assist him in the administrative part and the financial management, setting up all those structures. I also assist with PCF Ventures as the interim CEO. In July 23rd this summer, we opened our Anishinaabe gas bar in Dauphin. We have about 10 staff there as cashiers and gas jockeys and shift supervisors. I was letting the local community know last night that when I checked the financial from the July 23rd to October 15th, we've already made over $1 million in sales. We operate 24 hours. We have 2 shifts that are 8-hour shifts from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. We also stay open from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., but with window service. So if you're going through in the night and you need gas, you can still pull up to the gas station and go to the window. We also have the Rising Sun Healing Lodge with a board of 9 health professionals that work in the community. So we've got like the health director, BHC, BFI, our mental health workers, Abenujiak Nigan workers that sit with that. And we've been able to secure some funding from the 4 Pillar Society. And we're hoping to be able to start some programming in the spring or summer of 2026. I'm also in the process of making a corp application to ISC for the infrastructure cost of the next 3 acres just behind the gas bar for the 26-27 call out, which will be coming out in the next month or so. And that's all I do. My husband said, "Why are you wearing that jacket to the meeting in Winnipeg?" And he said, "Your lumberjack jacket." And I said, "Well, they got to know I come from the bush." Yeah.
Thank you, Brenda. Well, we're going to, before we go for a break, I just want to say thank you, Chief and Council, and all their amazing staff for doing such an incredible job and providing all this information to us. So we're going to take a 10-minute break, and then when we come back, we will get your input then. Thank you. Good. So it gives you examples in regards to the type of questions you should be asking yourself in there, or coming up with solutions. As you see on the wall, there's headings for each category, which vision and values. So for example, what does success mean to you for our people, our programs, and our nation? Community well-being, what do our members need most to live healthy, safe, and fulfilling lives? Economic development and employment, example, what barriers prevent members from participating in employment or training? Governance and administration, how can we improve accountability and communication between chief and council, staff and members? Another example would be under lands and infrastructure and environment, how do we protect and manage our lands, water, and natural resources? For membership and culture, how do we ensure that both on and off reserves members feel connected and represented? And reflection and moving forward. An example would be, what have we achieved in recent years that we can build upon? So they handed out some papers to you already to write down some of your ideas or solutions that you can come up with. So we're going to have about 20 minutes, and we'll be walking around. If you need any help with any or explanation, just let us know, and we're happy to help you out. So you have that, and we have stickies here. So is the idea for them to just give them to you? Or? Okay. So every time you fill out a sticky, just raise your hand and we'll pick it up. So exactly 7:30, your honorarium will be done through Jen and Kayla at the back at 7:30.
You can also say too, if they just want to speak on the computer or on the microphone, and you can take the microphone.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing else you wanted to say.
Yeah. You sure?
Yeah.
They're just worried about time now because we're already. I know.
Yeah, so it would be just very short.
Okay.
Questions.
Okay.
I think. Well, are we still doing all the time?
You want to do that? Or yeah. Yeah. Okay. And if anybody had any questions or solutions, can you could just come up here. Here we go. Right here. Yeah. Right there. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Pamela Ducharme. I just have some suggestions for the band. So I feel like there should be more events for families on and off the reserve that come together in Winnipeg. Because how are we supposed to know each other when we don't get together? And I feel that there should be like for all the members that who just became like new band members, I feel like they're like for all the children, I feel like there should be some kind of like compensation put in place for them so they can have a good start.
Awesome.
And yeah, that's my suggestion. Thank you.
Thank you very much. At any time, you can just come in. We have probably about a 15-20 minute window for questions or statements if you want to come up here. Oh, yeah.
I said I was gonna sit down and not get up.
But you
I think I left him in my
so definitely sitting in front of them.
I have that stuff for you from there. Okay. I left a long time.
Hi, I got little bit of a suggestion. Talk about vehicle needed to go get groceries in town or something like that. And I don't live on the reserve, but there's a radio station there. And we can have fundraising, try to get fundraising for this van and keep it on the road, take people to town to get groceries and have like radio bingos. People can volunteer to do the radio bingo. I don't know what what problem with the radio station. I heard it's not working, but maybe we can get it working and just have fundraising to get things like that. People to town to get groceries and stuff like that. That's my suggestion.
Thank you very much. So here's a question in regards to, excuse me. A question was asked, what type of prevention programming is offered to children, youth on and off reserve? And the second question was, where's the nearest palliative care facility for elders, end of life or cure? So these are two that you were asking in regards to that part of it. More? Sorry, it was end of life care. So under economic development, I would like to see Pine Creek's beach. Sorry, beach. I'm sorry. Is this
Pine Creek's.
beachfront?
Beachfront, yeah.
Okay. Pine Creek's beachfront to become a draw for tourism and travel, building cabins, docks, and boat services would help bring, I'm sorry, entrepreneurship in there.
Help bring investments.
Oh, investments?
Yeah.
Okay, help bring investments.
That one, under membership and culture.
Under membership and culture, more events in Winnipeg. Good start compensation.
She's gonna answer to
Okay. Hello again, everyone. I'm Lori Thompson, and I'm the team lead for Abanojiak-Nigan. And as I said earlier, one of our focuses is prevention services. And the question was asked, how is that, how are prevention services provided through on and off? And like I said, there is prevention dollars that ISC has provided to our members on reserve. So we have a process for that, but when it comes to prevention for off reserve, West Region CFS, who is one of our home agencies, and other agencies are receiving prevention dollars. And I know that it's really tough to have a conversation in getting help through CFS because there's all of that fear of a file being opened, but they have different programs like family enhancement, and you can obtain services from them, and you won't have a protection file. So they do receive prevention funding for the rest of our membership that aren't on reserve. And the programming that we have at home is we have spiritual wellness, we provide cultural, we have ceremonial, we have medicines, we have medicine picking, we have physical wellness, there's support for sports, there's support for gym nights, we have, and with mental and emotional wellness, we connect individuals with resources. So in terms of the financial piece, that's where we're having a difficult time to ensure that all of our members have access, but you can still contact Abanojiak-Nigan and we'll find the resources, we'll help find the resources, and the thing that has to happen is you have to be ordinarily resident on reserve. And what we need to do is, if you've moved away for education or for health reasons, or there's lack of housing, those types of things, we need to know that from you, because then we have to determine whether you're ordinarily resident on reserve and whether we can say that you're ordinarily resident on reserve, so that it's reflecting the true residency of everybody, because a lot of us are not on reserve because there's not enough houses. We've had to leave because there's not enough jobs. We've left for education, right? And for medical needs. So when you contact us, please let us know about that, but we'll ask you that question too, because that's the checkbox is the ordinarily resident on reserve. Miigwech. I'm talking about West Region Child and Family Services. Like, they have a main office, I believe it's in Rolling River, the head office, but they have a bunch of sub offices, and there is a sub office here in Winnipeg. Huh? Yeah, on Sherbrooke Avenue. So they do have support programs where you don't have to have a protection file. You can access those supports with them. And if you're having trouble with that, we talk with them and we can help advocate for those supports for you. And we're trying to obtain more access and more information to supports that are available to Minagwa-Zibi and Anishinaabe members. And we do have an office we opened up at 1721 Main Street. So we're just opening up that office. So we're trying to make sure that we're accessible to all our band members.
No, I'm just making sure. Okay, so there's a couple of questions here. What is happening in regards to healthcare? What is being covered and who is True North? And then the second one, the stores that are being built should be more like a supermarket instead of a corner store. Example, Northern Store setup. And the third question is, what is happening with the drug situation of all our youth, parents, etc.? Thank you. Is somebody gonna, do we have time to ask that, or is that just part of the?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
Where's the questions?
Okay.
I wanted to talk about the,
It's the bit of-
I wanted to talk about the end of life care one. So this one's, how do you do this?
Wait, you trying to hold it?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go.
True North, I believe somebody's referring to True North Disability Services. So they're an organization that helps you to advocate with, what do you call them? The Revenue Canada agency to get you a disability tax credit through if you're diabetic and you take insulin every day. I actually contacted them and they helped me to retrieve some of my back taxes from previous years. Because I take insulin every day, I'm considered disabled. So that's what that organization is, and you can reach them online. What is happening in regards to healthcare, like what is covered? So you have to go online to NIHB. They have a website, and then they have different departments, medical transportation, there's dental benefits, medical supplies like equipment. So it depends on what you're inquiring about to click on. So Southern Chiefs Organization and MKO have service navigators as well. So if you get denied any of your benefits that you're asking for, you can reach one of them. They also have an online site, or you can call there to the organization and ask for their NIHB service navigators, and then they can also help you, assist you with that if you don't know how to do it yourself on the computer. And the end of life care. So actually, it was just literally last week I attended a conference with the Rady Faculty of Health Sciences. They're the College of Rehabilitation Sciences at U of M. So they've the dean of that department has started a project called Tiny Homes. What they're partnering with other other faculties within the university is they want to build a home unit on each First Nation in Manitoba for end of life care, specifically for that. So I signed up Angela and Kevin to be on their advisory committee, and since I was just there last week, they don't even know about it yet. That's how new it is.
So for Pine Creek, the nearest place for end of life care, it would be to access nursing from is Dauphin. I know our nurses they can get delegation of function from the physician to provide at-home palliative care through our home care department. Does that answer your question?
No, I didn't think I was gonna die and that's the end of life care. That's why I asked you, what do you mean when you say end of life care? So I didn't know you were gonna.
So it would be somebody who is diagnosed with a terminal illness and the doctor's given them, they're advised. I don't know.
But anyways, I'm just interrupting. I just wanted to know anything.
I believe that was the questions that I could address.
Oh, okay. So wow. So here's another one. I have grandkids who are not registered with Pine Creek. Are there any facilities I can access through me for them, such as Jordan Principal or other apps, or who I can talk to find out?
Well, I was just gonna address the drug one
Oh, okay.
from the previous one.
Okay, 1 second.
I'll just address the drug one. So I just wanted to address the drug question that came up in the previous question. We do have some awesome programs on reserve for our addicts, our recovering addicts. We have an ADAP worker that sends out our people are ready to go to treatment. So we've did some successful treatments. We had some failures. We had some people attend treatment more than once, more than twice. We just recently graduated one that took the treatment 3 times. He's ready to speak to the youth in the school. So I'm very proud of him. I'm very proud of Danielle for pushing him through. But we also have Hilliard. He's Abanujiak. He does the 10 Bear program. Hilliard's program just expanded to like way more than his building can hold the capacity. We have, what would we say, alcohol, drugs, gambling. Everybody attends Hilliard's thing on reserve. And for the drug program in the community, Chief and Council signed the BCR 2 years ago, saying that anybody who gets caught selling drugs in their home will be evicted off the First Nation. And this was in place and we've did it. So we are trying. I just wanted to answer to those questions, but I'd like to thank our staff as well as leadership for making this happen. We're trying to deal with the drugs as best as we can. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
So what was the question?
In regards to off reserve or not band members.
Okay.
So in regards to the question for children that aren't registered. So in community, Jordan's principal assists any child. It's a little bit different when you don't live in community. We just looked over this and we asked for clarification from ISC just recently. One of the things is if you are a guardian, your grandchild, if you are the guardian of your grandchildren, you can access Jordan's principal.
Thank you. Thank you, Lori. Well,
yeah.
My follow-up question is what if you're a Pine Creek band member, but kids, your grandchildren, are not from Pine Creek? Do they still qualify for supports?
If you are the guardian.
Yeah. Okay. So
yeah.
If the guardian has children.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Well,
What if the child is
They would still, we would still support them. Yeah. If the child is registered in community with Manega ZB, we would still assist if the parent is not.
Scared to take that. Okay. Thank you very much. So at this time, it's 7:30. And so as we indicated, if you want to go in the back for your honorariums, but at the same time, like not everybody rush, keep writing down your questions or your solutions on there, and we'll still be around picking them up as you go. Oh, which one is that? Sorry. The store? Oh, the bill. Okay. So that'd be under economic development, like instead of building having a small store, a big store? Oh, sorry, Brenda. I didn't see you.
What was the question?
I wanted to know, like, what type of store you built in PCSM?
Oh, in the community?
Yes, the community. Because I know that, I know for a fact, when I used to go home, I would take Morrison, but grocery shopping, yeah, shop.
We had a community consultation meeting. Early on, we did 100 surveys, and we asked the community what they would like to see in the grocery store. So they'd like to see a deli. They wanted to see fresh meat cut there. They wanted to see a bakery. So I'm not sure if the business plan fully supported putting like full services of that, but maybe smaller versions of being able to have a little bit of all of that all together. So it should be a good size and be able to support the community in all types of fresh foods and fruits and vegetables and
Because one of the things I know, I work for the modern stores, and they have to ship everything, which costs them a lot. We're putting on that.
yeah. So before that, the Economic Development Board and the Chief and Council, we did tour some wholesale facilities here in Winnipeg, like Sobeys and the Federated Co-op and the Northwest Company. So we were able to pull information from all of them and also present that to the community. So that's all a part of in the business plan and which would be the best wholesale company to go with. Yep. Okay.
So everything that you've written down, if you see the yellow stickies that are on there, they're going to look at everything, put it all together, and then they're going to let you see it on the website, I do believe, in regards to the responses to your questions. So still be time to see what you've put down as a concern or a solution.
I know it, I'm full of this. Yeah, I just wanted to say for the elders, like, the age of 76. And with all that small print, when you do it on computer and you put it on your email either or, it's very hard for the elders to read that. Plus, we as elders, we don't have computers, a lot of us. We don't know how to operate them. And so is there something else that you can, put together material and send it to the elders? You can talk about that. Okay?
Okay, thank you. Oh.
If you'll excuse me, I'm not very well versed and educated on exactly all the things that are reserve just because I live on reserve. But the question I'd like to put on the floor about as we go into the future, that something should maybe put into place since there isn't something similar to that to put it into place, is our grandchildren, and it's going to roll over into our great-grandchildren. Our grandchildren are being affected with ADHA and GDD, global development delay. I guess it's in the genes now because all of alcohol and drug abuse, and it's affecting affecting the genes. Is something gonna be put into place to take care of our great grandchildren when they're like that? Are we gonna have some kind of support programs to help educate? Because all kids that have global development delay need extra attention. They need to be taught how to be part of the community and not go and hide in a hole somewhere and not develop into a full-grown mature person.
Does anybody want to answer that now or take it under?
If that could be just put on the floor, kept in mind, maybe I'm talking about looking forward for something to try to protect their children. That's what we want, grandparents, and that's something that seriously be looked at.
Thank you so much.
Like a mental health issue kind of thing. So thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. I would like to see resources for grandparents who are raising their grandchildren, as there are none, and if there are any, where can we find them? And if there are none, that would be something to think about. Is there something in place already? Under Jordan's principle, maybe? If you want to read it again.
So the question is, I'd like to see resources for grandparents who are raising their grandchildren, as there are none, and if there are any, where can we find them? And if there are none, that would be something to think about. So with Jordan's principle in the last year, there's been a lot of changes. However, when families call our office, we still say to them that we will send it. As long as we have the proper documentation, we will support and send it to Indigenous Services Canada to see if it's approved or not. And there is also a denial process that we can also go through if it is denied. Oh, they have a grandparents group? Okay. So AMC First Nations Family Advocate Office has a grandparents group. And they meet Monday mornings from October 20th to November 17th, 2025 at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And they do provide bus tickets and a light snack. So that's another resource that grandparents can access.
Again, through Abanojiaknigan on reserve, we have our wraparound circle. And we try to bring in as much family members as possible because we've become disconnected, and the household is a private household, that type of and it's just the parents that are responsible, but that's not our way. So we're trying to reconnect the whole family and take the alleviate what's happening for grandparents when they're raising their grandchildren. We also have great grandparents raising their great grandchildren. It's a couple generations. So what we can provide on reserve is we have direct wraparound helpers that can go into the home and support with cleaning, with child minding. We have a couple of vans through Abanujiaknigan. We help them take the children to for appointments, for grocery shopping. We're able to do that through prevention services. And again, with off reserve, there is West Region Child and Family Services, and grandparents can also access that support through family support worker programming, through the prevention programming that they can make available to members. And if you need support with that, again, like I said, contact Abanujiak Nigan, and we can start helping advocate for that. And if it's not going to be through there, we'll find it somewhere else.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Just to let you know, this is just the start. And as we move forward, the chief and counselor are now going to have some closing remarks. And here we go. I don't know who you want first. You? Yeah.
Okay, so I guess it's me first. Again, chimigwet chakina magabi jaik nungum. Abi chigego magayaik. I'd like to thank all of you for coming today. All of you members, like I said earlier, you matter to us. Your feedback is very important. We want to hear from you because we care about you. We care about the children. No matter where you live, you're still a band member and you belong at home. I know you care about us because you have family there. I just wanted to let you know also that Counselor McKay and I, we're trying to set up some time here at the urban office, 1721 Main Street, a couple days a month, but I think we need to stay here like a week, 1 week per month. We're trying to set up some time for that so that you could come and talk to us face to face at our office. If you have any issues, if you have any recommendations, if you have any ideas, and if you need help to network in the community resources, we can look and find those resources for you. We can advocate for you. We can speak for you if you want. We can write for you. You know, sometimes it's hard to write a letter to someone asking, but we can do that for you. So we will be posting our hours on the Miniguzibing Anishinaabe page. And we also invited ISK here today because sometimes when you go to ISK, they tell you go to your community for funding. And yet, you know, there's not very much funding that comes to Miniguzibing for off reserve. And so I think in the future, well, I don't think, we are going to set up some time with ISK to come and talk to all of you here in Winnipeg so that you can ask those questions. What kind of funding are we entitled to? Because you deserve a clear response from them instead of them always sending you back home saying that, okay, that's where all your money goes. Okay. Jimmy Gwetch again for coming.
Thank you, Cindy. So I'd like to thank you all again for coming and your feedback that you shared. I did get a lot of notes from you all. I did get a few messages on Facebook from people that were viewing. One message that I did get was that our community is doing so good. They're very proud of what our community is becoming, the work they don't know anybody that's sitting behind us here that's carrying our First Nation for us. It's not us here at Chief and Council because we can't do it without these guys. So I'd like to thank them too. One thing they did ask for is what's happening? How are the buildings look? Do you guys have an elders lodge? We have an elders lodge. So they would like to know who's working in the elders lodge, who's working in the health office, with all of the names that they can contact. If somebody wants to get a hold of MedTrans, then they know they need to contact Candace instead of going through all 12 staff before they get to the right person that they want to talk to. So that was one recommendation that I did get on my messages, that they would like to see band buildings posted online with the staff that work in there. It doesn't have to be pictures, but emails and phone numbers so they know who to contact instead of going through 20 staff before you get to one or getting a call back in 3 months. So I do like that recommendation. I also like the recommendation from yesterday. Our elders need to be taken care of at home. A lot of you guys live off reserve and your elders live at home. They wanted like their decks cleared, ramps, things at home to make sure our elders are comfortable at home. So that's one of the priorities that we will be working on for our elders at home too, so they're comfortable. Yeah, so I guess with that, I'd just like to say thank you all for coming again today, and thank you all for being here. Miigwech.
Like they said, thank you all for coming out and spending your evening here with us. All your feedback and all the sticky notes that are sticking on the boards there, we'll definitely take those into concern. We'll go over them and see what kind of solutions we could come up with to maybe do some of them, as best we can. And with all these people sitting behind us, like Councillor Angela said, we don't do this alone. These people work very hard every day for us and the community. And once again, thank you all for coming out.
Miigwech. I'd just like to thank you all. I don't really want to echo everything that's been said, going on here, but thank you all for coming out. I did have one question from a band member there on small business. If someone can guide them on in the right direction, he'd like to see if there's anything that he can apply for his small business. I don't know who you'd speak to. So you can add that to.
We all just.
But thank you all, and all your feedback and that and recommendations, and miigwech for coming out and spending the evening here with us. Thank you.
Well, miigwech, everybody. I think everybody got, all my colleagues got it all covered here. They said it all. But I myself too just want to say that all you guys matter, both on and off reserve. And for seeing all the old familiar original band members sitting here. Happy to see you guys, man. I used to see you guys when I was a little kid here in the reserve. Happy to see all you guys coming out. I wish you could have had a full house here. But like my colleague said, man, thank you guys all for coming out. Thanks for the information. Yeah, so have safe travels home, you guys. Miigwech.
Miigwech. I guess in closing, I just wanted to just state that, as a community, if we do anything and it looks like it's been successful, it's because we all did it together. And that's an important message I wanted to share, because as you see tonight, everybody here takes a leadership responsibility in their particular area that they work in. So if we're successful as a community, it's because people have stepped up and said, okay, this is my area. I'm going to focus on this, and I'm going to work with these people here to provide the answers as best we can. And that's how we've grown as a community to be looked at as a successful community, because I think we've made those commitments. And it's not just chief and council, but as I've said before, everybody that wakes up in the morning and comes to the band office is a leader in the community. If you come in and you commit your day to advancing our community in a good way, then you're a leader. And when you go home and sit at your kitchen table, you're a leader in your home. And that impacts the entire population of our community in one way or another. And we've got big things on the go, and we're going to have more big things on the go. We had meetings earlier today about possible business ventures we're looking at. We're working on a major project right now that we hope to be able to announce in the coming weeks, because it's going to be our community that decides whether we go in that direction or not. Right now, Wab-Kinu's government is asking for us to support a Manitoba Crown Indigenous corporation. And he wants the Anishinaabe to agree, he wants the Cree to agree, the Dakota, the Métis, the Anishinaabe. He wants 5 of the tribes to designate somebody to sit on this corporation. We haven't decided whether we support that idea or not yet, because it's going to be up to our community. It's going to be up to you to tell us, should we sit at that table with Wabkanu's government and talk about all the resources and the wealth in our province here and work with them. There's some good things that are on the horizon in that regard, but there's also some negatives that have to be worked through. But these are the things we're able to work on and focus on because we got things solid at home. We're solid at home. And Cindy was right when we talked about funding, because a lot of people are on social media. I know you are, because I see it. And a lot of people are out there saying, you know, those guys get all this off reserve money for us. How come we don't see any of it? You know, and as you can see, like everybody that sits here that has a job has a line item in our comprehensive budget. And those budgets are designed oftentimes based on our on reserve population. ISC doesn't want to say that, but it is. It's based on our on reserve people living at home. You know, some of our budgets though are for our whole population. For example, post-secondary education funding. That's based on our whole population. And you know who draws down most of the post-secondary funding? 90% of our off-reserve band members receive the post-secondary funding. And only about 10% on reserve receive that funding, because it's our off-reserve community members who are accessing that money for the colleges and the universities and the degrees and the master's degrees and the PhDs and everything else. You know, when it comes to our own source revenue, we have discretion on how own source revenue is spent. That's the money that we generate ourselves. Do we discriminate between on reserve and off reserve with our own source revenue? No, we don't. If you need help with something, then we do our best to help based on the budgets that we have. We do that. And Nancy can attest to that because she receives those calls, and we keep track as best we can of on reserve and off reserve assistance. And we keep those numbers. So that's something I wanted to share. Like, we're doing the best we can for everybody. And we don't discriminate. You know, if anybody's discriminating, it's Canada on how they decide how the budgets work, but not us. We want everybody on board, and we include everybody as best we can with what we have. So thanks for coming out tonight. I really appreciate the feedback and all the commentary that's been made. We're going to roll these together as reports. We're going to review them, and we're going to do our best to implement the recommendations that we can. That's our commitment following this meeting. We're going to do this again. We're going to keep doing this because I think it's a very important process for us in community building, in nation building. And stay tuned in the coming weeks for some big announcements from some work we're doing, because we're very proud of the efforts we've been putting in towards advancing something very big on the horizon for our community. So, Miigwech, thank you very much. Have a safe trip home.
Once again, let's give them a round of applause. They did a fantastic job today. I'm really proud of, like you said, Chief, that I too go on social media, but I don't see everything. And this just gave me an overview of exactly what's happening. So a lot of questions that I had were answered tonight. So thank you very much. And before we leave, as you know, if we have an opening prayer, we have a closing prayer. So Linda, could you come again and close out?
Miigwech na namando kina umaga minamatibing. I want to thank the good Lord for all of us here. You know, ever since I've been coming to these meetings, I feel a part of PCFN. And if you want to come, I want to just encourage you to come to these meetings, because we learn a lot. We ask a lot. I do anyways, and I know deep down in my heart, when I ask a question, it's not a silly question. You know, it's a question maybe someone out there that don't want to ask, and they're shy. Because we as Native people have a place here too. We have a place to share what we have in our hearts. And I want to thank the good Lord. Gitchimanidu, I thank you, Father, for everyone that's here tonight. Lord, bless them, Father, as they travel home. I just ask for the traveling mercies to follow you home. I ask for grace and mercy to be in your vehicles as you travel home. In Jesus' name, amen. God bless.
Thank you very much. And that concludes the evening.